I haven't been sim racing for a few weeks because of a knee injury, but I returned to sim racing and what a first race I had. I'm driving the BMW GTP at Road Atlanta in the IMSA Fix series. The BMW is definitely not the fastest car this week, the Cadillac and Porsche are a lot stronger, but using the BMW's advantage in the high speed corners and heavy braking zones, I've been able to fight with some of the fast guys. I'm in a 3.3k strength of field top split lobby with some fast drivers, so I've got my work cut out for me today. I was looking super good in quali. I went pole on my first lap and then improved a ton on my second lap. It was a new car record at the time. This meant I qualified P2 starting on the outside, which I definitely wasn't looking forward to. And well, the start of the race definitely wasn't a good one. At the beginning of the formation lap, my wheel disconnected, which meant my screen froze for a solid 5 seconds. I then reappeared in the middle of 2 cars before getting taken out a few corners later. I was able to make my way back to second before the race started. Then I got a really good start and took P1. After a few laps I was able to pull a 2-second gap to the car behind me. However, as we were going through the GT3 traffic, I got held up more than the driver behind and he was able to catch up a little bit. A small incident with the GT3 gives him a great chance to catch back up to me, so I really need to start pushing now. After we pass the GT3 traffic, the gap is only 0.7 seconds, so I need to try and get him out of the slipstream as soon as possible. On lap 12, I got pretty lucky with traffic, which allowed me to pull a few tenths on P2 and get him out of the slipstream. Now, if you know anything about my luck with traffic in multi-class racing, you'll know that if it helps me out at some point in the race, something pretty awful is going to happen with it later on. P2 decides to pit early to undercut me, hoping I'll get stuck in some of the GT3 traffic coming up. This forces me to pit the lap later to cover him off, which is not what I wanted to do as it restricts my fuel strategy quite a lot. I pit the lap later. Pit entry was pretty much perfect, I hit my marks well at the box and the exit was nice, and I'm able to exit ahead of Mario in P2 by just half a second. And sure enough, my bad luck with traffic starts. I get stuck behind a Mustang at the exit of the S's and P2 catches right up. As he had the slightly warmer tyres, he was able to get super close by the end of the lap. And when I say super close, I mean super close. And yet again, as we go through the S's, I get stuck behind rush hour traffic, which means that I can't pull away from P2. I was able to pull a couple tenths through that same traffic though later on, which gave me some breathing room. By this point, P3 was catching up to us and he was getting some really nice traffic, so when we were stuck behind it, he was able to catch up to us. With 10 laps to go, we catch up to a lapped GTP, which really slows me down, and I also need to lift to avoid a GT3, which allows P2 to catch right up again. Over the next few laps, I was able to build a tiny gap which gave me some breathing room, but I was never able to pull away from P2. However, when we went through a wave of traffic, I was super aggressive and was able to clear them before the S's, which meant I built a pretty decent gap. But sure enough, I get stuck behind another GT3 and he's able to close right up again. On lap 24, I'm under so much pressure from P2, but I'm able to keep him behind. But you know when I said something bad was going to happen with the traffic? Yep, at the worst possible time, and then P2 goes off the track, rejoins, slows down right in front of me, and then pulls over. This ruined my exit out of sector 2, and P2 was able to go around the outside of me and finish the move onto the chicane. By this point, P3 had caught right up and I was now under pressure from the fastest car, in a car that did not want to turn around the corners. Because of the crazy understeer I was getting, P1 is able to pull about half a second in just a few corners, and now P3 is looking for a move. P3 makes a move down the inside and overtakes me. So now I'm driving in twice the amount of dirty air as before, and in a car that does not want to turn. On the final lap, we were all within 1 second of each other, and some of the moves that were being made on slower traffic was outrageous. In all of the chaos, P2 brakes way too late. Unfortunately for me, he misses P1, but I'm able to get ahead of him because of it and finish in P2. This was a super chaotic and fun race. I'm not even annoyed that LMP2 messed me up. I really hope I have more races like these soon, as they're the best sort of races, super close and clean. Thanks for watching, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.